Hello, and welcome to the premiere episode of Mom's Drunk. I'm Ramu.
I'm Steven. What this basically is a bi-monthly vlogcast, podcast thing that we'll do. We'll talk about topics and stuff. And yeah, right?
Yeah, stuff. It's mostly like stuff we like, stuff we don't like sometimes. You know, fun stuff. The first topic of the first episode is the scoop, which we'll do this every time, and we thought it would be very apropos to do back to school stories for the first episode. You know, it's September. A lot of people are starting school tomorrow, so my first memory, or when we were first talking about this topic, we thought, you know, the cafeteria and like what happens in the cafeteria. And when I was in high school, my first day, my freshman year, I was at a new school. And I didn't really know anybody, or the people that I did know weren't in my lunch period, so I spent my lunch period in the bathroom, much like Katie Heron of Mean Girls fame. So that wasn't good. I wouldn't recommend doing that. I think it would have been better for me if I had spoken to people and like tried to make friends, but I didn't. So I was in the bathroom for a whole like 38 minutes or whatever your lunch period is.
Right. And see, I was going to a new high school as well, and I didn't know anyone. Well, I knew one person, but we weren't friends. So I was like, okay, I'm going to go into the cafeteria. I'm going to sit down with someone, and we're going to be friends, which was a really good idea at the time.
Sounds like a great idea. It's
right.
what I wish I had done.
But I chose to sit with, like, it's mean, I know, but I decided to sit with, like, an ogre.
He needed friends, I'm sure, so
too,
that's fine.
yeah.
That's good, actually, that you sat with the ogre.
He had like long hair down to his shoulders. He was wearing really frumpy clothes.
Did he wear a flannel? I'm picturing a flannel.
Probably.
Okay.
Yeah. And he was a little overweight. Which, you know...
Which is horrible when you're in high school.
Right. But anyway, so I sat down. There's no one else at his table. So I was like, oh, okay, well, this is easy. The whole table's open. So I sat down, and, like, I took out my lunch, popped open my Capri Sun, and then I said hi and introduced myself and everything, because I was being really courageous, which, you know, is not something I thought I would do. So anyway, so he, like, popped open his lunch, which was basically just, like, a thermos, with liquid, obviously.
Soup, probably, right? You'd assume.
I would have assumed, but it was not, because he was drinking it straight from the thermos. And he offered it to me. And I was like, oh, no, I have my Capri Sun right here. But it wasn't juice.
What was it?
It was vodka.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
That makes sense. The ogre man has his thermos of vodka on the first day of school.
Right. I mean, yeah. So
he was a drinker, it sounds like. Sounds like that
was.
wasn't his first time bringing vodka in a thermos to school.
No. So anyway, yeah. So that was a fun experience, and I sat with him a few more times, and he would bring in different alcohols. I think he was just right in Mom's cabinet. So yeah. But
what happened to that guy? Do you know?
No. He didn't make it through the first year of school.
That's really sad.
Yeah. So I don't know.
It's probably all that vodka, though. That's probably what did it to him.
Yeah.
Speaking of cafeterias, I think the next topic is cafeteria food. I actually would check the lunch schedule before every week. Like, I think on Sundays the paper would like put up the lunch schedule for the school. It was like a really small town. So I would check the lunch schedule and see what was good. And on days that it was good, I would bring my money for lunch. And on days that it wasn't good, I would bring my own lunch. And I know this sounds gross, but like the best lunch was beefy dunkers. And I know it doesn't sound appealing, but it was. Trust me, it was like beefy, like meaty pasta sauce, and then you'd get like 3 breadsticks, like the Olive Garden type breadsticks. Then you would dip the breadsticks.
But no pasta.
No pasta. but you didn't need the pasta because you had the breadsticks.
Right.
So you would dip the breadsticks. I mean, that would be too many carbs. Like, they care about our health. So
right.
You would dip the breadsticks
big chunks of meat.
into the beefy dunkers. It was so good. Like, my friends and I would be like, oh my god, guys, we have beefy dunkers this Friday. It would usually like alternate beefy dunkers and pizza. So that would be like the great lunch day. So I enjoyed it.
Right. And I never ate the school lunch. I would bring like 3 things to lunch all year long for 4 years. well, like 3 separate days, different weeks, depending on my mood. Like, I would bring one sandwich, would be like peanut butter and fluff on white bread, keeping it simple.
Staple, that's a good one.
Keeping it real. The next one would be like just a tuna fish sandwich on white bread. Sometimes if I was feeling really crazy, I would go with an onion roll.
Okay.
Which brings me to my third sandwich.
Wait, tuna fish on an onion roll.
Yeah.
Oh, that's good. I like it. Okay.
Yeah, it's a little spicy. And then my third sandwich would be ham and cheese, American cheese, because at this point in my life, I was not into trying other things.
Oh, okay.
Right.
You come a long way then.
I have, yeah.
You have.
Right. So it was just American cheese. I would not even try provolone or Swiss. And just plain old, like, baked Virginia ham or something like that.
Out of a packet? I don't
No, like at the deli.
Oh, okay.
And then mayo and pickles on an onion ring.
That sounds good, though.
Yeah,
I would try
it's
that.
good. It's still one of my favorite sandwiches. All right, so the next thing in our scoop, we are going to talk a little bit about fall TV and what we're excited about coming back, new shows, things like that. So what are you excited for?
I know nobody still watches the show, but Grey's Anatomy, like, I can't quit it. I cannot quit Grey's Anatomy. I love it. Meredith Grey, even though I hate, Meredith Grey is like my Carrie Bradshaw. Like, I hate her, but I want to keep watching her. So
I had wished she had drowned.
Everyone says that.
Yeah.
But it's good. Like, her and Derek, like, they adopted a brown baby, which is like, so of course I'm like in love with them. They adopted a brown baby, but like Derek left her.
From the United States?
Yeah, from like, I think she's from Haiti. She, like, her mom came to the hospital and like, yeah, so it was one of those babies. And then Christina and Hunt are breaking up because Christina doesn't want babies, and like, obviously you probably should have spoken about this before you actually got married. So he broke up with her. So now it's like the last season ended with like Christina and Meredith raising this baby, which is like kind of funny, but like I think it's a good story. I think Shonda Rhimes is genius. I think she does great things. Like, I'm excited to see what happens. And I will say though, I hope that this is the final season because it is getting a little hard to keep watching, even though I love it and I look forward to it. September 22nd is when it comes back. My second one is Boardwalk Empire. I know it was kind of like, a lot of people either loved it or hated it when it first came out last year. I love it. Obviously, Michael Pitt, I love. Steve Buscemi, I find oddly attractive. Like, I don't understand it really, but I love him. And I have a connection to Steve Buscemi. One of my friends that I played rugby with in college, her boyfriend cat sits Steve Buscemi's cat, and his cat's name is Caleb. So that is like my little Steve Buscemi connection. Nice. But I'm really excited. I hear Chalky White has like a bigger. Chalky White is played by what is his name? Michael Case. I don't know what his actual name is, but he plays Omar in The Wire. I think it's like Michael K. Smith, but I might be making that up. I don't know, but he plays Omar, so he's great. The episodes that he had like big parts in, he was great in, and I cannot wait to like see more of him. So Grey's and Boardwalk Empire are my two things that I'm really excited about this fall.
Right, and so things that I'm excited for, I'm looking forward to Sarah Michelle Gellar's new show, which is Ringer. It's where she like plays like two people, like twins. Right. And it's sort of like, it reminds me of my summertime guilty pleasure, which is still on, by the way, The Lion Games.
I haven't watched that either.
It's some classic ABC Family.
ABC
TV.
Family.
Yeah,
okay.
It's a new show, so it's a new classic is what I'm calling it.
Okay.
Okay. So it's a little more exciting than The Lion Game. Mm-hmm. I'm also looking forward to the X Factor, which is
okay.
Right. I'm really, really excited for Simon and Paula to be back together.
That is a good one.
Yeah. And I'm also looking forward to, like, one of my favorite shows from last season to come back is Happy Endings.
I agree.
And it like had a little bit of like a rocky start, but like as the season went on, even though some of the shows aired like out of order and stuff,
right.
it was really
which is weird, yeah.
But it was still such a funny show, and it's well written, and I just love like the characters, and I like Eliza Coupe is genius. She plays Jane. Yeah, so those are some of the things. I also write on tvhangover.com, and there's a whole list of those premieres on there, so you should definitely check that out. Yeah.
Michael Kenneth Williams is who plays Omar, and Chalky White, I just looked it up. Okay. So it's not, Michael K. Smith is a person, I'm pretty sure. I just don't think it's this guy. Maybe I'm making that up. I don't know. But Michael Kenneth Williams is Omar. You guys, I'm sure, know him. He's great in Boardwalk Empire.
Right. The other thing we want to talk about, and that we're going to try to do this week, is there's the Boston Improv Festival that's happening in Boston, around Boston, Cambridge. It's done by Improv Boston, which is a really cool improv place. I know Remu's taken a class there.
I took a class and it was like I did a little vlog about it also. It was terrifying, but it was like great, and I would definitely want to do it again. So.
Yeah, we're definitely doing that. So we think we're going to try to go to one of the nights this week, and you should definitely check it out. And it's the website it's on. You can just check bostonimprovfest.com. Okay, so we're moving on.
Yes.
This next thing that we're going to be doing, we'll do this as well, is we're doing what we're calling a screen test. And each bi-weekly period that we're doing this thing is we're taking a clip from something, a TV show, a movie, something, and we're acting it out like as if we're an actor, and we're doing screen tests. Basically, right?
Yeah, basically. We're like reading scripts, like little short scripts or scenes. Reading short scenes, yeah.
So this first one we're doing is from one of my favorite soap operas, Days of Our Lives. I picked this one up because it's really exciting, and we'll add a link to the original too, so you need to definitely check that out because it's amazing.
It's great.
And so then this first one is from Days of Our Lives during the time where Marlena was possessed by the devil.
Didn't go quite the way I planned, but it could still work out to my advantage. Now, we don't have any need for more than one Kristen in Salem now, do we?
Poor Marlena. Girlfriend, you are a mess. You need some rest, but I wouldn't count on getting it. Not while I'm around. Wait till you see what I'm going to do next.
So now we're on to items of the week, where, pretty much speaks for itself. We each are going to pick an item or two that we think is great, and for this first week, mine is this. This is the Logitech laptop speaker. You just kind of clip it to your laptop here, and you put it into it has a USB cord. And I know Netflix is like not very loud, so this is perfect for when you're watching like Netflix or videos on your computer. You should definitely invest in one. I think it's like maybe $20-ish. So it's a great, I have two actually, so it's a great investment. Definitely, I lose things a lot. Right. So definitely, you should get one of these, or two.
My other thing is, like, I'm really into photography, and I found my, 35mm camera. Well, I didn't really find it. It sits on the ledge of my bedroom. So, yeah, it was a discovery. But I decided to break it out. I put film in there. I set it up, made sure I had batteries in here. So I'm gonna start taking some real pictures with real film.
Right.
And yeah,
professional.
Yeah, trying to be a little more creative with my photo taking. So yeah, and this was a used camera that I bought a few years ago. So
buying used is green.
Right. Yeah. So this is my item of the week, is trying to use my 35mm camera, and I think I've only taken 2 pictures of my cat.
Of course. And our last segment is what we call QRST, Question, Remu, and Steven Time. So we want you guys to send us in your questions. They can be funny, they can be random, they can be serious. If you have relationship questions, or I kind of I talk about race a lot in my blog. When I ask me, is it okay to say this joke? I'll answer you honestly on that question. It sounds weird, but I've gotten those questions before.
Yeah.
So anything you want to ask us, you can go ahead and send your emails into yourmomsdrunk@gmail.com, and we will hopefully answer them on the air. Whatever this is. Yeah. We'll answer them for you. We'll answer them for you. So.
But yeah, so that's it. All right, well, yeah.
Thank you for watching.
Right. Bye.
Bye.